Another game, another night without Caitlin Clark. That single sentence is enough to make Indiana Fever fans groan louder than the Gainbridge Fieldhouse buzzer. After all, the 2025 season was supposed to be the year Clark turned the franchise into must-watch television every single night. Instead, we're now staring at the possibility that the league's most electrifying rookie might finish the year having missed more games than she's played. But here's where it gets controversial. Some analysts are already whispering that the Fever are better off resting Clark for the remainder of the year to protect her long-term value, even if it torpedoes their playoff seeding. Agree or disagree? Keep reading, then sound off below. Saturday's matchup against the struggling Chicago Sky, 8/22, was circled on calendars as Clark's potential comeback party. Indiana, 17-14, desperately need to jolt after a brutal West Coast road trip that ended in a humiliating 95-60 beatdown at the hands of the Phoenix Mercury. The Fever looked lifeless on both ends, shooting a season-low 32% from the floor and coughing up 18 turnovers. To make matters worse, Friday brought the crushing news that guards Sydney Coulson and Ari McDonald, two vital cogs in Indiana's backcourt rotation, are done for the year with serious injuries. The locker room is emotionally drained, and fans are left wondering if the basketball gods have some personal vendetta against Indianapolis. So will Clark lace 'em up and rescue her team from this tailspin? The short answer is no. The team officially ruled her out for the 10th consecutive game as she continues to battle a persistent right groin strain. That brings her total absences to 19 regular season contests, plus the WNBA Commissioner's Cup final. Essentially, half the campaign erased by one stubborn muscle group. For context, Clark has suited up only 13 times in 2025, averaging 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.6 steals. Those numbers are solid, but they're wrapped in concerning efficiency. 36.7% from the field and a chilly 27.9% from three. Some critics argue those percentages prove she's been forcing shots when she should be distributing more. Others insist the dip is purely a product of playing through pain before the groin finally gave out. And this is the part most people miss. Clark herself admitted she's in uncharted territory. Appearing on Sue Bird's Bird's Eye View podcast, the usually unflappable guard sounded genuinely shaken. "I've never been through anything like this, and I think that's probably why it's been so hard." Translation: the mental grind of rehab can be just as brutal as the physical grind of the actual injury. For a player who dominated every level from high school to college without missing significant time, the concept of sitting out nearly half the season is foreign and frightening. The injury carnage isn't one-sided either. Chicago will once again be without star forward Angel Reese, who's nursing a back issue that has already cost her 3 straight games and shows no clear return timeline. That means Saturday's showdown could feature more star power on the inactive list than on the active roster. Casual fans flipping to CBS at 7 p.m. CT might ask, wait, who's actually playing tonight? The honest answer? A bunch of gritty role players fighting for pride, paychecks, and maybe a future contract. So what does all this mean for the Fever's playoff hopes? Indiana currently clings to the 6th seed, but the New York Liberty and Atlanta Dream are breathing down their necks. Every missed Clark game inches them closer to a single elimination first-round matchup. Exactly the scenario they wanted to avoid after drafting a generational talent. Some front office insiders privately wonder if the organization should bite the bullet, shut Clark down, and pivot to next season. Others insist that even a hobbled Clark at 70% is better than no Clark at all. Which camp do you fall into? Controversial take. Could the WNBA's compressed Olympic year schedule be partly to blame? Players have complained for years about the physical toll of back-to-back games and limited recovery days. Clark's injury might be the flashpoint that forces league executives to re-examine the calendar. Or maybe it's simpler. Maybe rookies just aren't used to the 40-game grind after a 30-game college slate. Either way, the debate is heating up. As tip-off approaches, Fever fans will still pack Gainbridge Fieldhouse hoping for a miracle. They'll chant Clark's name during warm-ups, scan the tunnel for any sign of that familiar number 22 jersey, and cross their fingers that the next update from the PR staff reads available instead of out. Until then, Indiana must lean on veterans like Palsy Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston to steady the ship. And who knows? Sometimes a depleted roster sparks an unexpected hero. Remember when the Sky's own Kalia Copper erupted for a career high during a COVID-shortened season? One thing is certain. The conversation around Clark's injury has evolved beyond X's and O's. It's now a referendum on load management, rookie expectations, and whether the league is doing enough to protect its brightest stars. So we leave you with this. Should the Fever risk long-term damage for a short-term playoff push? Or is it wiser to preserve Clark's health and aim for a fully loaded 2026 campaign? Drop your hottest take in the comments. We're ready for the fireworks.